Hey everybody, Super Plush here, and today I'm going to be doing a plush collection of my entire collection. So yeah, I obviously have a lot of plushes, so yeah, we're basically just going to immediately get into this video because it's going to be a very long one. Now the first plush I have is Pea Shooter. This is the classic Lynx and Pea Shooter. The tag on this one's very faded. But yeah, it's overall still in pretty good condition. It's missing the suction cup, and it is missing the basically the entirety of the tag because it's all faded. But yeah, still overall pretty good plush in my opinion. I'm glad that I have it. Next up we have the light face sunflower. So yeah, this is the light face sunflower. There is a dark face variant, but I do like this one more. The main reason for it is just like I just like the design more. I think it just looks better in my opinion. The tag once again is faded just like the pea shooters. But this one does have a suction cup on it. But yeah, this one's definitely the better one in my opinion. It's also the rarer one. And well, next up we also have the dark face sunflower. This is just the light face one, just with a dark face. This one also has a very skinny stem, so it just basically falls over every time you gotta get it to stand it up. And has a folded made in China tag. But yeah, this one, in my opinion, the light face sunflower is just better in my opinion. I just don't like the design as much, and also the stem on this one's just, it's really hard to get it to stand up. You could get it to stand up, but it's just very hard to do. It does have a very nice suction cup though. It seems to be like in mint condition. And well, we also have the Lynx and 2 redesigned sunflower. This one's just the Lynx and 2 variant. Obviously, this one's probably my least favorite because, well, I just don't like the design that much. And also, the leaf base is all just weird compared to the old ones. So yeah, this one's just kind of worse than the other two in my opinion. But yeah, definitely not a plush I would recommend getting. I would definitely recommend getting either one of those before this one. And well, we have the big size Lynx and sunflower. So this one's just like the dark face version, but just bigger, obviously. And yeah, it does have like a huge hole in the back of it, but it was sewed up by the original owner by the looks of it. It's missing the suction cup, and the tag's also very faded, as you can tell if my camera focuses. But yeah, I still really like this plush. Obviously, it's probably my worst condition big size because, well, it's just very damaged. But yeah, still overall pretty good. And well, next up we have the walnut. This one's actually not really that much of a walnut shape because, as you can see, it's just for some reason just like really tall for some reason. But yeah, still overall pretty nice plush. It's in pretty good condition. The tag is pretty bent, but the plush itself is still very soft. As you can see like the fur on it changing color. But yeah, it's overall really nice. The suction cup's in good condition. The string's in good condition. Overall, just a pretty nice walnut plush. And we have the big size walnut as well. As you can see, it's just the normal size Lynx and walnut, but it's just bigger. This one also has a string and suction cup, which is actually longer than the normal size ones, which makes sense because it's a big size. But yeah, the tag is pretty damaged, as you can see. It's pretty faded, just like sunflowers tags and the big size sunflowers tags. But yeah, still overall in pretty good condition. It's still pretty soft as well. Not as soft as the normal size, but still pretty good. Pretty nice plush in my opinion. It's also a nicer shape than that one. Next up we have the potato mine. This one's a new plush that I got this year. Overall, pretty good condition. It has the folded made in China tag on it. I got this one for very cheap, like only around like a few dollars because I got it from China. Which obviously means that this plush was a lot cheaper than the others. It's still very soft. Really nice condition. It actually has like this on it where the hang tag used to be. Which I don't know how the hang tag got detached from this, and this is still managed to be there, but still overall pretty cool. Alright, so I may have forgot the Lynx and 2 pea shooter. It's basically just this pea shooter, but just worse. But yeah, I kind of forgot about it. It also has a felt leaf for some reason. Next up we have the snow pea. This one's basically just the pea shooter pattern, except it's dark blue and well has a darker green leaf base. And also spikes on the back, which actually aren't made out of a felt material. They're actually made out of a pretty good material, so they hold up really nicely. The string on it is kind of damaged. It kind of gets bent over time for some reason. But this one actually stands up just really nicely. It almost just fell over, but... Alright, most of the time it stands up really nicely. You're just going to have to trust me on that one. And next up we have the redesigned snow pea. This one's once again just this snow pea, except for some reason the eyes are looking separate ways. I hate that. And also the leaf base is slightly weird. And this one also stands up pretty nicely. Yay, it actually did it this time. So yeah, that proves I'm not lying, guys. And next up we have the keychain snow pea. This one actually still has his Lynx and hang tag on it. As you can see, it says Lynx on the back of it. It also has the Lynx and tush tag, which is a bit bent. But yeah, overall, a really nice plush. It's very small compared to this one. And it's actually my only Linkson keychain that I have. So yeah, it doesn't have the keychain part on it as it fell off, but still overall pretty nice. And here's my final Linkson Snow piece, the big size of it. This one's actually really nice. It's really soft. It also has a lot of stuffing in it. But yeah, it's missing the tush tag. It doesn't have the suction cup on it. But yeah, still overall pretty nice plush. It is a bit damaged here, as you can see. It's just kind of bent there. But yeah, overall pretty good plush still. I really like this one actually. Next up we have the Sun Shroom. This one's my only Sun Shroom plush. It's missing the suction cup, but it still has the string. It's also missing the tag on it. But yeah, this one was actually one of my first ever Plants vs. Zombies plushes, and well, they kind of started this whole collecting thing, so yeah. One of my earliest Plants vs. Zombies plushes that I got. And it's still in pretty good condition. It does have like this here, but that was from the original owner. But yeah, overall pretty good plush. And next up we have the Doom Shroom. This one's on the rarer side of things. It's missing the tag and it's also missing the suction cup. And it's definitely not in the best condition, but yeah, I still really like this plush. Definitely not the most accurate Doom Shroom plush as it's all gray, and even though that's not supposed to be like that. But still, overall, pretty nice plush in my opinion. It's not in the best condition, but still, I'm glad that I have it. Also, as you'll notice, it uses the exact same pattern as the Sun Shroom, except it just has eyes up here instead of down there. Now, I was trying to go in order of, like, characters of, like, plants, but I kind of went out of order. So, yeah, next up is Chomper 1. I know it's not in the correct order, but I just have way too many to go in the correct order anyways. We have the very damaged Linkson tag. The neck's very floppy, so it doesn't really stand up. But yeah, still overall, really rare plush. And yeah, the football zombie in his mouth is kind of bent and damaged, but still overall, really nice plush. One of my actually first rare plushes that I got. And next up, we have the second design of Chomper. This one has a light purple string. And well, this one's probably the most well-known design and well, the most common design. As you can tell, it has a movable mouth. And it's honestly probably the best design of Chomper that Linkson made. Has a very damaged tag on it, but still overall I really like this plush. It was actually the last Chomper plush that I got, which is very weird, especially because it's the most common one. And next up we have the third design of Chomper. As you can tell, it's just the first design except with the zombie not in the mouth. The tag's very damaged on this one as well. It doesn't have a suction cup. There's also missing one of the spikes on it, but I got this plush for very cheap, so yeah. Still overall pretty nice plush. Glad that I got it because, well, Chomper 3 is semi-rare. It's not really rare, it's just kind of semi-rare. And well, we have the big size of Chomper 1. If you thought Chomper 1 was rare, then I have the big size of it, which is even rarer. Pretty good condition tag. Overall, this plush is actually just really good condition. It's missing the hang string. But yeah, the football zombie's kind of bent, as you can tell there. But yeah, overall, really nice plush. It was actually the first ever big size which I got, so yeah. It's kind of funny that I got a really rare big size, one of my rarest to this day, as my first one. But yeah, overall, really nice plush. And my final Linkson Chomper plush, big size Chomper 3. This is probably the rarest Linkson Chomper plush, and probably one of my rarest Linkson plushes in general. Pretty good condition tag. It is bent, but yeah, this is probably one of my rarest Linkson plushes, and one of my rarest Plants vs. Zombies plushes in general, because I only really know like 2 other people that own this plush. So yeah, overall, really rare. The neck is very floppy on this plush. But yeah, overall, I'm really glad that I got it, because I got it for pretty cheap for how rare this plush is. Next up, we have Blover. This one's missing the tag, and it also has a really short string for some reason. This one's actually really recent, as I just got it for Christmas. But yeah, I really like this plush. I've been needing it for a while and I've just never got it for some reason. Next up we have the jalapeno. This is my first jalapeno, you can tell because it has a white string. The tag's still in pretty good condition. And yeah, this is also one of my first ever Plants vs. Zombies plushes. So yeah, once again, one of my earliest ones that I got, and it's still in pretty good condition. And then we have my second Linkson jalapeno, you can tell because it has a light green string, and also the tag's slightly in better condition. Yeah, this one's also, pretty old that I got. It's one of my earlier plushes that I got. But yeah, I got this one in a lot, which is why I have 2 of them, because usually I don't buy doubles for my plushes, but this one just kind of came in a lot, so I kind of just got it. Next up we have the Split Pea. This one's also pretty good. It's still a really nice condition. It doesn't have a tag on it, but still has the string. This one has a really big leaf base to make it stand up better, which as you can tell works actually. So yeah, overall, really nice plush. It does kind of bend the stem a lot and make it like all wrinkly when it stands up. But yeah, still overall, pretty nice plush. Next up, we have the melon pult, which was my first ever plant plush. So yeah, this one's my first ever Lynxen plush, my first ever plant plush. It doesn't have the tag on it because it was cut off by the original owner. The iron-on material is pretty bad condition, as you can tell in some spots. Like here, it's cracking. But yeah, still overall really nice. I really like this plush because, well, it just kind of has sentimental value to me. And well, we also have a second Lynxen melon pult. This one's slightly different than the other one because, well, it's just kind of wider, has a white string, and it actually has the whole tag on it, which isn't in good condition, but it still has it. The string is also slightly longer on this one than that one for some reason. But yeah, overall, pretty nice plush. Once again, just like the other jalapeno over there, it just kind of came in a lot, so I got it. Next up, we have the big size melon pult. As you can tell, it's pretty big compared to the normal sizes. It doesn't have a suction cup on it. It has a tag on it, which is pretty bent, but it's still in pretty nice condition because it's not faded at all. There's a very long vine on it, which, as you can tell, is a lot longer than the others. It's supposed to be all raveled up, but most of them just kind of lost it and just kind of got unraveled over the years because this plush is still pretty old. Next up, we have the melon pult phone holder, as you can tell. This is probably my first extremely rare plush that I got. But yeah, there's supposed to be like a really small phone because this plush was released in like 2010, so it was made for a very small type of phone. It's actually smaller than these, like the normal sizes. Yeah, it's not in the best condition, but still one of my rarest plushes and one of my first plushes that I got as well. And by far my rarest Lynxen melon pult, the melon pult pillow. As you can tell, this one's huge compared to the other ones because, well, it's obviously a pillow, so it's huge compared to basically every single plush I've shown you so far. And this one's definitely one of my rarest Lynxen plushes in general. Really nice tag, really fuzzy. I got this plush for only like $25 because I got it off of a Chinese website for very cheap. The vine's in really nice condition. And yeah, great plush, very big plush. And well, if you can find it, I would definitely recommend getting it. Next up, I have the cabbage pult. This one has a pretty nice string. It's missing the tag. And one thing I really like about this plush is that it has a lot of definition to it and a lot of extra pieces, which makes it look really nice. Pretty nice plush. Definitely better than like the redesigned cabbage pult. Next up, we have my first kernel pult. It's missing the suction cup because for some reason the original owner cut the string of it. Has a folded made in China tag, and overall pretty good condition. It's not the original Lynxen version, as you can tell, because it has a folded made in China tag, but I do have an original Lynxen version, which I'll show you right now. And here's the original Lynxen version. As you can tell, the Lynxen tag has like glue on it for some reason. I don't know what the original owner did that for, but still, this one's a lot softer than this one just because, well, it's the original release, and it's also a lot squishier because for some reason the original Lynxen releases were just higher quality. Next up, we have the textureless kernel pult. It's just this kernel pult, but with no texture, obviously. There's tons of designs of kernel pults. I have very little of them. It also has a very faded tag, and it has a string on it. Also, one of my earliest rare plushes I got alongside the melon pult phone holder. Next up, we have the big size kernel pult. Has a Lynxen tag on it, and it's overall pretty good condition. It has a long string and a suction cup on it. It's very like squishy. It's very soft. Very nicely made. The eyes do have strings coming off them, which obviously isn't a good thing. But yeah, still overall really nice plush. Also pretty rare because it's the big size version. Next up, we have this non-Lynxen kernel pult, but I'm kind of shoving it here because I really don't know where else to put it. It's this textureless Korean kernel pult. As you can see, it has Korean text there. It has a very small suction cup and string. It also has iron-on for the eyes and eyebrows. I don't know what this is, what company it was made by, but I was just really interested in it, so I got it for my birthday. I don't know what it is, so comment down below if you know anything about the company that made that, or if there's any other plushes like that out there. Alright, so one thing I just noticed is that I forgot Cherry Bomb. Yeah, so I don't know how I managed to forget about Cherry Bomb when I have two plushes of him, but yeah. The normal size of it was like buried in like plushes, so I didn't really find it until now. It was supposed to be one of the first ones I went over, but I kind of forgot about it because it was buried. But yeah, overall pretty nice plush. The leaf is pretty damaged on it. It does have a suction cup. It actually has a really nice string. It's a really nice color of red. And it doesn't have a tag on it, but yeah, I'm sorry that I kind of forgot this one. And well, we also have the big size cherry bomb, which I think like one cherry is bigger than that whole plush. So yeah, it's obviously a very big plush. The tag on it is very faded, and this plush is actually the reason why I remembered it, because it was just kind of sitting in my case. I'm like, oh, I forgot about cherry bomb. But yeah, pretty nice plush. The leaf is also pretty damaged on it because it's made out of a felt material. It is missing the suction cup. But yeah, overall, pretty nice plush. Next up, we have the winter melon. I know it's not in the correct order, but I'm just going to kind of put it next to the melon pulse because that adds up. It has a dark green string on it. Overall, pretty nice. It does have a little bit of damage on the iron-on material right here. But yeah, overall, pretty nice plush. It doesn't have a tag on it, but it's still really fuzzy. Next up, we have the 3-peater. I know it's not a Langston plush, but I don't have anywhere else to put it. It doesn't have a tag on it, but it still has the suction cup and string on it. And well, this one, the middle head for some reason always gets stuck back here for some reason. It always looks really weird. But yeah, and also like this part of the plush could fall out because it's only glued on, which I don't know why they just didn't make it all one part. It's a really weird design choice. But yeah, pretty nice plush. It is very small though. Next up I have the twin sunflower. It has a dark green string once again. And for some reason this neck is just very floppy because it has a very thin stem. It also does have a tag on it, but yeah. So overall pretty nice plush. It would be nice though if this like stem actually held up better. Because since it's very skinny, there are some ones that have really thick stems, so they stand up well, but mine doesn't. Next up I have the cactus. This one's the redesigned cactus, as you can tell by the tag. And yeah, I don't have the original Langston design of the cactus, but the redesign I guess works because it still overall looks pretty good, unlike some redesigns that look terrible. Next up I have the cattail. This one for some reason has a hole in the bottom of it. It also is missing the tag. It's also missing the suction cup, but besides all the things that are missing on it, it's still actually really soft and in pretty good condition. But the original just decided to cut the tag off, cut the string off, but left it in good condition, which is overall just a really weird thing to do. Also, since I just went over the cattail, I might as well go over my custom-made lily pad plush. It's based off of the Hello World lily pad, but it's custom-made, obviously. It has some felt eyes on it. But yeah, overall, pretty nice lily pad plush. It's to scale with the Hello World one, because I based it off of that. But yeah, I made this one a few years ago, but yeah. Overall, pretty nice plush, and I'm glad that I custom-made it, because, well, the original lily pad plush is extremely rare, and I'll probably never get it. Next up, I have this apple bomb plush. It's not the original Langston version. It has a suction cup on it. It does have a hole in its neck, as you'll notice, because, once again, just like other plushes, I got it in a lot, so this one just kind of came with it. And just like, oh, it has a hole in the neck, and I never fixed it. And I actually got it after I got the big size one, which I'll show you next. And next up is the big size apple bomb. I got this one long before I got that one. And as you can see, the head of it's basically the size of the normal size plush. But yeah, it's missing the tag on it. The neck's very floppy, as you can tell. But yeah, it's also missing the tag on it, but still, even though the neck is really floppy, I found ways to make it stand up better. It's very hard to do, but I found ways to do it. Yeah, overall pretty nice plush. Next up is the Bursa. This one's missing the tush tag, but it does have the suction cup on it. But yeah, this one's overall really nice. I really do like this plush. And yeah, it's pretty obscure plush as well because, well, it's just basically not even based off an official character. It's based off of the fake Plants vs. Zombies 2 leak, which is actually a pretty interesting topic in itself. And next up is a plush that I didn't show you earlier is the Cherry Bomb pillow. The reason why I didn't show you it earlier is because, well, I just kind of wanted to save space for it back there. But yeah, overall pretty nice. It has a car strap on the back of it. It has the felt leaf on it. And yeah, overall pretty good condition. I was just saving space back there for it to make sure it fit. And another plush that I need to save space for is the jalapeno pillow. As you can tell, this is huge, especially compared to Blastoise. This plush is just huge. It's missing the tush tag on it because it was basically just all faded away. But yeah, overall this plush is really good. It does take up a lot of space though, so yeah, I need to save space back there for it. But yeah, overall it's the exact same as those jalapeno plushes over there. except it just doesn't have a lily pad on the bottom of it, and it's obviously just a lot bigger than any of the other Plants vs. Zombies plushes that I own. And well, moving on from Links and plushes, we have a World Max plush. This one's the big size version of the Sunflower. It has some like foam tube in its stem so it doesn't get floppy, even though the neck on this plush did get floppy because the foam somehow broke by the original owner. But yeah, the Plants vs. Zombies tag is very folded, so it's very hard to see. But yeah, still a pretty good plush, and it was one of my first, if not my first World Max plush that I got. And well, to go with that Sunflower plush, we have the Sunflower pillow still in its original bag. But yeah, this one also takes up a lot of space, as you can tell, because it's very big. And it still has the tag on it, obviously, because it's, well, factory sealed. But yeah, overall, pretty nice plush. Next up, we have the World Max Jalapeno. I do really like the 3D eyes on this one. It has a lot of detail to it. And it has some pretty nice embroidery on it as well. It has the Plants vs. Zombies tag, which is the same as the Sunflowers tags, except these are just in a lot better condition, as you can tell. And as you can see, a lot of it's for some reason in Russian. I don't know why that is. And next up is the Gatling P. The helmet on this plush does fall off, but I try to keep it on as best as possible. But yeah, overall, this plush's barrels out of its mouth like kind of stick out really weirdly for some reason. It also has the Russian Plants vs. Zombies tag, as you can see. It says NeoCube right there, so that's how you can tell it's from Russia. But yeah, overall, pretty nice plush. The neck is all bent and like just like that one because the foam on it just got destroyed for some reason by the original owner. But yeah, overall, pretty nice plush. Next up, we have the World Max normal size squash. It has the talisman tag on it, which is bent sadly. But yes, I actually don't have the big size version of the squash, which is a lot more common than this one, so I don't know how I managed to get this one, but not that one. But yeah, overall pretty nice. That's the Plants vs. Zombies 2 tag on it. And yeah, overall pretty good plush. It is pretty small though for a squash, especially compared to like Links and plushes. World Max's plush is a lot smaller, especially in the normal size. And next up we have the Birthdays keychain squash. As you can tell, it's for the second anniversary. I don't know if you could see that, but still it's pretty nice. It has a tag on it, obviously, and it's still factory sealed. Yeah, overall pretty unique plush, and basically only the keychain exists, as the big size is basically owned by no one and only has one picture of it. Next up we have one of my rarest Plants vs. Zombies plushes, the Dead Pea Shooter. This one's missing the pea in its mouth. Overall, the face is in really good condition. The embroidery just looks really nice on this plush. The leaf's pretty nice. It also has the original tags on it, except they are pretty bent, as you can tell. But yeah, it doesn't really stand up that well, so it needs something to lay on, just like the Gatling P over there. But yeah, overall, really nice plush. And the foam is getting damaged over time, so I'm trying to keep it in best condition as possible. And that is all the Plants vs. Zombies 1 plants. We still have Plants vs. Zombies 2 plants in here to go over, but before we do that, I'm going to go over the Plants vs. Zombies 1 zombie plushes. Starting off with a basic zombie, this one has a yellow button, which is actually pretty rare. And it also has a nice tag on it, which is in pretty good condition. For some reason, it does have a line for it if it focuses. But yeah, it has a pretty nice string on it, pretty good condition. Pretty nice plush overall. Next up, we have the World Max Basic Zombie normal size. I'm combining World Max and Linkston because this video is just taking way too long. Yeah, the eyes on this plush are chipped, as you can tell, because they're made out of a very, weak material, so they can easily get damaged over the years. The teeth could also get damaged, but yeah, this plush is overall just really nice. And one thing to note about this plush is that the tag on it has the PVZ Renren on it, which is actually a pretty rare tag. Next up is the big size World Max Basic Zombie. This one has all the same problems with the eyes as the other one. As you can see, the eyes on this one are just really damaged, sadly. The teeth are also just bent upward for some reason. But yeah, this one doesn't have an iron-on tie like that one over there. And also, just like the Gatling P over there, has a Russian Plants vs. Zombies tag on it. Next up, we have the Conehead Zombie. This one's a folded made in China tag release, which means it's very firm. Like, it doesn't have, like the original Linkston plushes had, like, very little stuffing in them, which this one has tons of stuffing in them for some reason. But yeah, overall, the embroidery on the face is really nice, pretty accurate as well. The eyes do have, like, felt material on them, so they could get damaged over the years. But yeah, overall, pretty nice plush, pretty good condition as well. Next up we have the Buckethead Zombie. This one's the MCC Buckethead Zombie. Has the normal MCC tag on it, which is very long. And it also has a hang tag on it, which is in not the best condition. Also, the eyes do have a little bit of chipping on it, as you can tell. This size is in actually pretty good condition, though, which is actually pretty rare for these plushes, as they usually get damaged a lot. It also, for some reason, doesn't have a tie, which seems to be a common thing on MCC plushes for some reason. Next up, we have the Screen Door Zombie. The screen door on this plush is made out of this very delicate foam material, which is a terrible design choice. It could get easily damaged. Also, this little doorknob's here made out of this like little bead that's glued on. So yeah, obviously not the best materials used on it. The tie is made out of a completely separate material, unlike the Lynxen ones. And yeah, it's overall just a really high quality plush, especially because it's a bootleg. Next up, we have the Newspaper Zombie. It has felt glasses and also has iron-on them, so they could easily get damaged. It has a felt newspaper on it. But yeah, overall, pretty nice plush. It came with like the stitching on the back of it all messed up, so it had to be re-sewn. But yeah, pretty nice plush, missing the tag on it. But yeah, overall, pretty good. It also has like a weird shirt because for some reason it has like embroidery here, which isn't normal. Next up, we have the Duck Tube Zombie. This is the normal brown shirt version. It also has a felt tag and a felt duck on it, which could easily collect dust and debris over the years. It doesn't have a tag on it, but it does have a suction cup and string on it. But yeah, overall, pretty nice plush. I'm really glad that I got it, especially because it's the original design. And next up we have the black shirt duck tube, which is the exact same thing as this one, except it just has a darker shirt on it, obviously. There's not much else to say about it, because well, it's the exact same plush, but it does have a folded Made in China tag, and it also does have a suction cup and string on it. And I also have the redesigned duck tube, which is the exact same as these ones, except the face just looks uglier on it. And that's really like the only difference about it, honestly. Next up I have the Hypnotized Zombie. This one's pretty good. It's basically just the normal basic zombie plush back there, except it's just purple because it's a hypnotized zombie. Pretty nice. Doesn't have a tag on it. Doesn't have a suction cup. And I actually got this plush from Australia. Next up we have this really good condition hypnotized zombie. As you can tell, it's very soft. Has a really good condition Lynxen tag. Probably the best condition one that I own. It also has the original string on it. The reason I got this one is that number one, it was cheap. And also, I wanted a mint condition version of the Hypnotized Zombie because I only had that one. So yeah, really nice plush. We also have the NKB Hypnotized Zombie, which is basically just a bootleg of the Lynxen version, which is why this one's just lower quality overall. You know, it just doesn't really look that nice in my opinion. It doesn't have a tag. The button's all damaged, the coat's all damaged. But yeah, just not really that good of a plush. Also, another weird thing about this plush is that the legs on it are just really short compared to the Lynxen versions. Next up we have the Grass Skirt Zombie. This one has a lot of felt on it, and also these clothings could get easily unstitched and get easily damaged over the years. The tag on this one's all messed up for some reason. I don't know what the original owner did, but it's all like stretched out. But yeah, overall, really weird plush, and it came from the same thing that Bursa came from. It's a fake Plants vs. Zombies 2 leak zombie. Next up we have the Lynxen 2 Dolphin Rider Zombie. This one's a very bright red color. It has a normal Made in China tag because it's made by Lynxen 2. But yeah, the plush itself is overall really soft and still in really good condition. And then we have the original Lynxen version, which is missing the dolphin on it. It's still pretty cool though that I have the original Lynxen version. It came from the same lot as this apple bomb that I got. But yeah, overall pretty good plush. The Made in China tag is all beat up. But yeah, this one's actually the original release, which is still pretty good to have. And well, next up we have this other Dolphin Rider Zombie made by the same people that made the Screen Door Zombie. The dolphin on this one has like bead eyes, which is the exact same thing as the doorknob on this plush. But yeah, it also has a very like metallic red string on it. It's also made of this really weird material. I don't know what it's made out of. So it turns out I forgot a basic zombie because, well, this is the redesigned version of the Lynxen one. So yeah, I kind of just forgot about it because once again it was at the bottom of a basket. But yeah, it doesn't really matter that much because it's really not that unique of a plush. And next up is the Imp. This one has a very weird like felt material on the chest for some reason. Now, the face is overall pretty good. It does have some hair here, which is made out of a felt material, which could get bent by the suction cup itself because it's kind of sitting there. The overall pretty nice detail to add to the plush. I'm pretty sure it's one of the only Lynx plushes that actually have hair on it. He also has, for some reason, these very pointy feet. Now, up next up we have the Disco Zombie. This one has some pretty damaged eyes, but still overall really good plush. Really glad I got it. It's actually like the shiny shirt NKB version, so yeah. It's actually a pretty rare plush because, well, the NKB version is just rare in itself, but the shiny shirt version is even rare. It also has a very nice gold chain on it, which is made out of a pretty weak material, but it still holds up pretty nicely if you don't purposely damage it. And well, next up is the Gargantuar. This one has a felt material body. There are other ones that have different materials, but I got the felt one. The string on it is attached to the imp, which could get bent over time for some reason. I don't know why it does that. And the imp could come out, but I'm not going to put it out because it's kind of hard to get back in. But yeah, overall, pretty big plush compared to the normal ones, and I'm really glad that I got it. It also has a folded main China tag on it. And that's all the Plants vs. Zombies 1 zombies I have. So now moving back to the plants, we have the Plants vs. Zombies 2 plants. Well, it turns out I made another mistake. I forgot about these Pangea plushes, which are all Plants vs. Zombies 1 plushes, so yeah. Kind of forgot about them on that one. But yeah, starting off Plants vs. Zombies 2, we have the Iceberg Lettuce. This one has a suction cup and string on it. It doesn't have a tag. And just like the Cabbage Pole, it has pretty good definition here, so yeah. Overall, pretty nice plush. Next up is the Bloomerang. And yeah, it has a folded main China tag. And it also has a lime green body and a dark blue top, which is actually pretty rare. Next up is the Coconut Can. It has this very weird iron-on material here, except it's not really a bad iron-on material because it actually holds up really well over the years for some reason, which isn't normal for iron-on material, but yeah. It has some felt leaves, a felt fuse on the top of it. But yeah, overall pretty nice plush. It is very squished most of the time, so yeah, it's overall a pretty weird design. Next up is the Spring Bean. This one's missing some stitching down here, so this part got damaged. But it's also missing a tag, but still overall pretty good condition. And actually, this is probably the best Spring Bean plush that was ever released, because the only other one just looks really bad in my opinion. Next up is the Chili Bean. This one's the redesigned Chili Bean. I don't have the original version, but there's really no point of getting the original version, because this one's basically the exact same as the other one, except it's just kind of like higher quality, I guess, because this one's just kind of softer. Next up is Citron. It has a felt piece here which could get damaged, but besides that, the rest of the plush is overall really good. And it's actually the only plush that uses this leaf base, which actually makes it really unique, and it also has a folded made in China tag. Next up is the Electric Blueberry. This plush itself is overall just really good. I don't know what these leaves are made out of, but they make this like really weird noise for some reason. I don't know if you could hear it on camera, but it makes a pretty weird noise. Next up is Bamboo Shoot. This plush has a full main China tag and has a dark dirt version. There's a version with light dirt, but that one's actually pretty rare compared to this one, because I'm pretty sure this one's the more common one. Next up we have the Fire Gourd. This one's missing the tag on it, it's also missing the suction cup. But yeah, this plush is overall pretty good, has some pretty nice embroidery on it. And it has some felt material on the stem here. Next up we have Dragon Fruit. This one has pretty nice embroidery, and it actually has a lot of details on it because, well, as you can see here, there's a bit of glue missing there for some reason. But also, you can see, just look how many separate pieces of, like, plush material there are. They obviously put a lot of work into this one. They just need to work on, like, making their glue actually work. And next up is the Gatling Pea Pillow. Now you're probably wondering why I saved this one for Plants vs. Zombies 2 if Gatling Pea's a Plants vs. Zombies 1 plant. Well, this one was released for Plants vs. Zombies 2 because, well, the Plants vs. Zombies Chinese game, this one actually is in it, so yeah, it was for some anniversary thing, I think. As you can see, it's official. It has a hole in the tag because that's where the hang tag used to be, and also it has a pop cap down here. But yeah, this probably has to be one of my favorite Plants vs. Zombies plushes that I own. And now moving on to the Plants vs. Zombies 2 zombies. Starting off, we have the Raw Zombie. This one has plastic eyes on it. These was part of the Plastic Eye Zombie set. Has the normal Made in China tag on it. Next up is the Pirate Zombie, which is actually a really weird one because no one knows what it's actually based off of. Because, well, this obviously looks nothing like the game's Pirate Zombie, so yeah, it's kind of just unknown what it's based off of. There's also a version with a blue bandana instead of a black bandana. And we also have a Pirate Gargantuar. This one for some reason has stuffing in the back of it. I don't know if that's supposed to be there because it just kind of came with the plush. But yeah, overall, pretty cool plush. The one weird thing about it though is that it's really small compared to any other zombies, even though it's supposed to be a gargantuar, which literally makes no sense. Next up we have the cowboy zombie. This one's missing the suction cup on it. And well, the hat could actually get very easily damaged because it's made out of a felt material. But yeah, still a pretty cool plush. Next up I have the rodeo zombie. Same thing with the cowboy zombie, could get very easily damaged. One weird thing about this plush is that it's based off of a very obscure zombie, which is very weird because it's pretty much the only merchandise of the zombie that exists. Next up we have the cowboy imp. This one's the same thing as the imp we looked at earlier, except it's just in a cowboy outfit. And also the hat could get very easily damaged, basically like every cowboy plush that was ever made. Next up we have the black hair guitar zombie. This one's rare because it actually has black hair instead of brown hair, so yeah, overall pretty nice. It also has a guitar that's made out of a felt material that can get very easily damaged. But yeah, this one's actually a pretty rare zombie plush. And just like the potato mine we looked at earlier, somehow the hang tag got ripped off of here, except not this thing. Next up we have the Jester zombie. This is the original design, which is actually a lot rarer than the redesign because, well, the redesign has like the normal eyes, so yeah. I actually really like this version a lot more because it kind of fits the Jester. Next up we have this Frankenstein Gargantuar. Overall really good. It has lots of embroidery on the face, as you can tell. It has lots of details. Just looks really nice in my opinion. The imp also has a lot of details on it. Especially for a really small plush like the imp, is really good. And this plush is actually just really high quality in my opinion. It's also just really nice. It's also bigger than my other Gargantuar that I have. Next up we have the Neon Zombie. This one is the redesign, you can tell because it has blue jeans on it, which also like fall off really easily for some reason. Next up we have the Egg Pusher Imp. A hoodie on this plush actually comes off, which is a really unique feature. But yeah, pretty nice. Next up we have the Hammer Zombie, which is only holding a hammer with one hand even though it's supposed to be holding it with two. I really like it with only holding the hammer with one hand because I think it looks better in my opinion. It also has a felt beard that could get damaged. Next up we probably have my biggest Plants vs. Zombies plush, the Big Size Gong Zombie. Now this is the re-release Big Size Gong Zombie, but it's still overall pretty rare. As you can tell, it just basically takes up the entire space of all these zombies. And it's even bigger than my other Gargantuar plush by like a whole head. And now the final plush in this whole collection that we've looked at, which is probably the most important, being the Super Brains. Now the reason why this plush is so important is because it's my first ever Plants vs. Zombies plush. So yeah, overall pretty good plush. That's my entire Plants vs. Zombies plush collection. Alright, so this is every single Plants vs. Zombies plush that I have, but now we're going to be moving on to the Mario plushes. So yeah, here are my Mario plushes. Starting off, we have the normal Mario plush. This is just the normal Cine All-Star Mario plush that's very well known and very common. And next up we have the Fire Mario plush from Cine. It's the exact same as this one, just in a different outfit. Now another copy of the Cine one is this Metal Mario plush. Now this Metal Mario plush is overall really cool because, as you can see, it's basically just that Mario plush except it's all gray. Except they made the details just really good on this plush, which obviously shows that they put a lot of work into it because it's quite hard to make a plush look this good only using one color. So yeah, I think they did a great job, and it probably has to be the best Metal Mario plush that's ever been made. Next up we have the Tanuki Mario made by Cine, overall pretty good and part of the 3D land set. And we have the white Tanuki Mario, so yeah, this one's actually pretty rare as it was made by Jakks Pacific and no other company has actually made this plush, so yeah, overall very unique. The tags are pretty messed up on it. But yeah, I got this one for very cheap, so yeah, overall pretty nice plush. We also have the BDNA Wingcat Mario still with the tag on it, which is overall pretty good. The buttons did fall off on this plush. I don't remember which one it was, but it was one of them, and I had to be re-glued on because a lot of these plushes lose their buttons very easily. And another Flying Mario plush is this Cape Mario. You can see back there, it has a cape on it. The eyes are made out of a plastic material, and this plush is actually really old. I think it's either from 1991 or 1992, so yeah, overall pretty old. And it's actually pretty common to find this Mario plush on eBay, even though it's really old. And next up we have this SK Japan Baby Mario plush. It's overall pretty good. I do like this Baby Mario plush design better like the modern Cine ones, so yeah, that's why I got it instead of the modern Cine ones, because I just think this one's overall just better. And what we have this Ben Presto Blue Shell Mario. It's the only Blue Shell Mario plush that was ever made, so yeah. It's overall pretty cool. And yeah, overall really nice plush. And next up we have this Penguin Mario made by I don't know what company it was. I think it was just like Nintendo Tokyo made it. But yeah, overall pretty high quality plush. This is made out of a very fuzzy material, and it's also a keychain. But yeah, it has some very nice embroidery on the faces. Overall just really high quality in my opinion. And well, we also have this Propeller Mario made by the same company, quite clearly, and it's the only Propeller Mario plush that was ever made. The propeller is made out of a felt material, so it could get damaged. But yeah, overall just a really high quality plush. And yeah, overall just looks really nice. Also, one thing really unique about the tags on these plushes, you can see for the Penguin Mario one, it shows a Penguin Mario on the tag, and it shows a Propeller Mario for the Propeller Mario one. This is just overall a really unique detail about them. And for my final Mario plush, we have this Hammer Mario plush made for the game Super Mario All-Stars. The tag is a little bent, but yeah, overall pretty high quality plush. It's made by Ben Presto, so it does have plastic eyes that could get damaged, but yeah, overall pretty unique plush, especially because it's the only Hammer Mario plush that was ever made. And well, by far the best one in my opinion is this one. The main reason for this is that it was his first ever Mario plush. So yeah, obviously since it was my first ever Mario plush, it's the thing that kind of started this whole Mario plush collection. So yeah, that's why it's so important. But yeah, now with all the Mario plushes out of the way, let's go to the Luigi's. Now the Luigi plushes I have are overall pretty good. Starting off with my main Luigi plush. It's the old Sine one. I don't know if it's from the new Super Mario Bros. Wii set or it's just from the Super Mario set. I don't really know. But it is an older one, and yeah, it's overall pretty nice looking. A lot better than the All-Stars version, because the All-Star version just kind of looks weird. And well, we also have this Fox Luigi plush, which is based off of this one, so that's why they look very similar on the face. And this one's overall pretty good. It was released in the same set as the Tanuki Mario. And we also have these two Baby Luigis. This one came in the same lot as the Baby Mario. It's the SK Japan one, which is still my favorite. And we also have this All-Star Baby Luigi, which I got at Target. So yeah, I just kind of saw it, so I decided to get it because it's still overall a pretty nice plush, and I really like it actually. Also, a fun fact about this plush, I actually didn't know this plush even had a mouth for the longest time because it was hidden under the nose. But as you can see, you could see right there, it is a mouth. So yeah, it's most of the time just covered by the nose, so you can't even see it. So yeah, that's pretty much just a weird design flaw. I don't even know why there is a mouth because it just kind of looks weird there. Next up we have the Reindeer Luigi made by Ben Presto. It has a hang tag up there, and it's overall just a really unique plush. I'm really glad that I got it because I got it for Christmas a few years ago. And overall just looks really nice. It's in pretty good condition as well. Here's the tag. It has 3 other plushes in the set. And this one's actually pretty rare and pretty hard to find in good condition because, well, these details up here could easily fall off and the antlers could get bent and damaged like on mine. And what we have, my first ever Luigi plush, came in the same time as that one. I don't really remember when I got these originally because I got them so long ago. I just kind of forgot when I got them originally. So yeah, overall pretty high quality plush when it was in good condition. But I've kind of destroyed this one because I had it when I was young. As you can see, I unstitched the neck because I played with it too much when I was younger. So yeah, just kind of beat up the whole plush. In my final Luigi plush, we got the Kelly Toy Luigi. So yeah, obviously this one's very well known. Probably one of the most wanted Luigi plushes in general. You can see mine actually has some really good iron-on it because it hasn't gotten damaged yet. And I'm not expecting it to get damaged because I'm keeping it in great condition. So hopefully it will never get cracked. But yeah, the L emblem up here is a little cracked because it just kind of got squished by the hat there. But yeah, overall really good. I got this one for my birthday this year, so yeah. Overall, just really good plush. And now next up, we're probably going to move on to the Yoshi section. Now next up we have these Yoshi plushes. This is a bootleg Yoshi plush that I bought a while ago when I first got into collecting. This one's my really old Yoshi plush that came with this Luigi and that Mario. So yeah, I got it around the same time as those. But then we got my best Yoshi plushes being my 5 Yoshi's Island DS plushes. We got my first one, the green one. We got the red one, the light blue one, the yellow one, and the Korean black Yoshi. As you can tell, this one's part of the Korean Yoshi's Island DS set, which is a lot rarer than any of these. It also has this, like, I don't know if you could see it, but it's like a weird like keychain thing at the top there where you could put something. So yeah, overall pretty weird plush there because, well, I don't really know much about it, but yeah, overall, I only need 3 more Yoshi plushes to complete this set, so yeah, that's my goal for this year. That's one of my big goals this year, to get, like, the rest of these. Now, we're probably going to move on to Toad plushes, because I only have 2 Toads. Now, I only have 2 Toad plushes, being the BD&A Toad plush and the Play-by-Play Toad plush. Now, this Toad plush I unboxed on the channel a few months ago, and it's overall just a really good one. It has some plastic eyes there. It's overall just a really good plush, especially for the play-by-play set, because in terms of quality, this one's actually a really good plush for play-by-play. And it's also one of the rare ones, so yeah, overall pretty good. It is a little damaged on the feet there because there's like some like iron-on material on the shoes there that could get damaged. But yeah, overall pretty good plush. I'm really glad that I bought it. Now the BD&A Toad plush, there really isn't much to say because this is kind of like a clip-on version, so yeah, overall just a pretty weird plush, but yeah. It's really small, so it doesn't really fit in with the rest of the collection. And next up, we're going to move on to my Wario and Waluigi plushes. Now I only have 1 Waluigi plush and 1 Wario plush, so yeah, not much else to say because they're both the All-Star plushes. They're both overall really high quality though, and the mustaches on both of them could get bent and damaged because they're made out of a felt material. But besides that, there really isn't much else to say. And now before we move on to the Bowser enemies, we're going to go on to the Donkey Kong section. So yeah, I got 3 Donkey Kong plushes, being Donkey Kong, Diddy Kong, and Funky Kong. So yeah, Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong are just the normal all-star version, so there really isn't much else to say about those. But Funky Kong is from band Presto, and it's a pretty old one actually. You know, this plush is actually really unique because it uses a ton of different materials on it. Because for the glasses, it uses like this plastic material. For the bandana, it uses like this scratchy material. You can probably hear it on camera. And same thing with the shorts. For the surfboard, that says Nintendo on it, is made out of a plastic material, which is a lot harder plastic material than these. So this one's kind of like a lighter plastic material. You can't really hear it on camera. And also, the nose is made out of a felt material. The flip-flops have strings on them, and they also have foam on the bottom of them. So yeah, overall, it's just a really unique plush that's made out of a ton of different materials. But in my opinion, this probably has to be the best Funky Kong plush that was ever made, just because, well, it's really high quality and overall just looks really good in my opinion. And now next up, we're going to move on to the biggest section, being the Bowser enemies. Now here's all the Bowser enemies. I'm not going to go over each one individually because that would take a while, but we're just going to look over them quite quickly. Starting off, we have this Toy Koopa thing. I don't know the official name of it, but yeah, it's overall a pretty good plush. It's usually found on the airship levels, and it holds up pretty nicely, but it does have some felt on the back of it. Now we have the Goomba and the Galoomba. The Galoomba is made by Van Presto, and it has a lot of details that could get damaged, like the eyebrows and the eyes. And the Goomba is just a normal Cine one. Now this is a fuzzy. It could get damaged quite easily on these little spikes here because they're made out of a felt material. There you go, my camera focused. And they also have some easily damageable parts here because, well, it's just basically not made out of the best material at all. And next up is the Buzzy Beetle. There isn't really much to say about him. He's just overall a pretty high quality plush because it's made by Cine. Now the boot plush is overall pretty good. It has some teeth here that are made out of a felt material that could get damaged. And his mouth actually goes pretty deep, as you can tell. It goes for like half my finger. So yeah, I don't know why they added extra depth to that because it doesn't really make much sense. But yeah, overall pretty cool. This is a dry bone plush. It's just a normal one made by Cine in the All-Star set. But yeah, it's overall just pretty good looking. It has some felt teeth here if my camera focuses. There we go. But yeah, overall looks pretty good. And it's actually probably the highest quality dry bone plush that's ever been made. Next up is the Bob-omb. It's overall pretty good. There isn't much to say about it though because this is a really simple plush. The Bullet is also a very simple plush. It has some like cardboard back here, and it also has this thing so you can like hang it up in like stores and stuff. Now next up is the Chain Chomp. There isn't really much to say about this one. It's just basically a completely game accurate. It does have a huge chain that could get bent and damaged though because it's made out of a felt material. Next up is the Monty Mold. Now this is the original release, as you can tell by the Super Mario tag. This one's actually extremely rare and still sells for like $80 to $90 on eBay. Now next up is this Piranha Plant. You can tell that it's overall a pretty high quality plush. It also has some cardboard here so you can open and close the mouth. It also has some felt teeth here that could get damaged over the years. Next up is the Porky Puffer. This one could get damaged very easily on these spikes, so you do have to be careful with it. And next up is the Spike. This is also the original release of it because you can see there's like a Super Mario tag back there. I think he's actually sitting on it. There it is. You can see it right there. But yeah, this one is also extremely rare. It usually sells for like $50 on eBay. Next up is the All-Star Shy Guy. Once again, isn't much to say about it because it's basically just completely game accurate to how the Shy Guy is supposed to be. Next up is the Koopa Troopa. This one's made by Goldie and it's actually pretty old, and there's a lot of different versions of this plush, but I think mine overall looks pretty good. The quality control on these weren't the best though, so you could get some pretty weird looking Koopa plushes. Next up is the Kamek plush. Once again, this one's overall pretty rare, just like some others that we looked at, like the Monty Mole. But yeah, this one once again sells for a lot of money on eBay because, well, it's just overall a pretty rare plush and a very highly wanted one. And well, the final Mario enemy I have is the Blooper. So yeah, this one's overall pretty good. The reason why this was my first one is that it came with my Yoshi, Luigi, and Mario plush over there. So yeah, this one's pretty old as well. It was my first ever World Nintendo plush and my first ever enemy plush in general. And well, that's all my Bowser enemies, and now we're going to move on to the Koopalings. Now here's the final section being Bowser and the Koopalings, and we're going to start all the way back there with Bowser Jr. Now here are my 3 Bowser Jr. plushes. My first one was a bootleg, which is overall just really low quality, and I definitely not recommend getting it. My second one was this SK Japan one, which is made out of some pretty good materials. You can see up here though, there is some felt material, and this could get bent and damaged really easily. The bib's made out of a pretty nice material, overall looks really good, and it's part of the same set as the Baby Mario, Baby Luigi that I showed earlier. And well, this is my newest Bowser Jr. plush that I unboxed on my channel a few weeks ago. This one's overall pretty high quality, especially because it's the original Cine one. And well, yeah, it overall just looks really good. This is the 2013 release, and I do want to get the 2009 release at some point. Yeah, overall just really high quality. I definitely recommend getting this one. Now moving on to the Koopalings, I don't actually have every single Koopaling plush. I'm only missing one, being Wendy, so yeah. By the end of next year, when I make my next plush collection video, I'll definitely have Wendy by then because I'm planning on getting her in a little while, so yeah. Overall, and there's not much to say about these Koopaling plushes because, well, they're basically all all-star ones, so they're all pretty high quality. But I actually got a lot of them really recently, like Lemmy, Iggy, and Ludwig that I got really recently. Now, moving on to the final section being Bowser, we have this bootleg Bowser plush that I got on eBay a while ago. Obviously, it's probably the worst Bowser plush that was ever made just because of how low quality it is, because it's a bootleg. And now my most recent Bowser plush that I got for Christmas this year is my All-Star Bowser plush. There is some details that could get damaged, like the teeth. But yeah, I would definitely recommend getting this one, especially because it's a lot higher quality than even the Mario Party 5 one. Now, moving on to my final plush in the collection being Dry Bowser. It uses the exact same pattern as that Bowser plush, so that's why it looks similar. But yeah, obviously Dry Bowser is just a really cool character, and this plush was actually released only a few years ago, being in 2020. So yeah, this is my entire Mario plush collection as of 2023. And well, now that we're done with the Mario plushes, let's move on to the Pokemon plushes. Now, I'm not really going to go in order for my Pokemon plushes because, well, I have a lot of them, so I'm just going to go in a random order that I have them in. Starting off with the biggest Pokemon plush, Blastoise. This one's really, really big, as you can tell. Just compare it to my hand. So yeah, obviously this one's one of the biggest plushes I have, and it's made by Play by Play, who are the same people that made my Toad plush over there. And they're also the same people that made this Charizard plush. So yeah, this one's pretty big as well. Not as big as the Blastoise, but still pretty big. But yeah, there's a lot of details that, like the claws, that could get damaged because they're made out of this really weak material. But yeah, overall, just 2 really good plushes in my opinion. But another huge plush that I have is my Dialga plush. Now this one's about the same height as the Charizard, but not as big as the Blastoise, as the Blastoise is just slightly bigger. But yeah, this one was made by Jack Specific, and while it's overall pretty good, I really do like this like shiny gem thing here, which they actually did a pretty good job with. Next up is Torterra. This is part of the Deluxe Band Presto set because, well, it's all shiny, so that's why what they did for these deluxe sets. So yeah, I don't know why they made all the deluxe ones shiny, but yeah, it's overall a pretty unique feature, and there's a lot of cracking going on this iron-on material as it's got damaged over the years. Next up we have Whalmer. So yeah, this one's overall really small, especially for the whale, but yeah, overall it's just a really nice plush. There's also a really round one, so you can kind of grip it like a ball. Staying with Banpresto plushes, we have this one. This one's overall pretty high quality. It also has a string so you can hang in the stores. Once again, Banpresto made most of the Pokemon plushes that I have, so yeah, overall this one's just pretty high quality. And it's also some delicate materials right here because it's made out of a bit of an iron-on material here. Next up, I have Leafeon. There's a lot of felt material on this plush that could get damaged, which obviously just isn't a good thing about it. And well, next up is Espeon. Once again, I think these are both part of the same set. I have a few part of the set, so yeah, overall, it's a pretty nice plush. I'm glad that I got it because, well, it just overall looks pretty good. And from what I can tell, these actually are kind of hard to find now. And next up, I have a Caterpie. This is made by the company Bandai, and it's one of my smallest plushes that I have. But yeah, it has some plastic on the eyes here, and it's overall a pretty good plush. It's just really small, especially compared to Blastoise's foot. Next up is Mewtwo. So yeah, there's some strings coming off his eye for some reason, but yeah, overall this is a pretty nice plush, and I think I don't know what company it's made by actually. I kind of forgot. Yeah, I don't know which company it's made by. I think it's like part of like a Pokemon Center set or something like that. But yeah, overall he has a really floppy neck for some reason. But yeah, it's still a pretty nice plush. Next up is Mew. I know he's part of some Pokemon Center set. He's overall a really small one. His tail is for some reason stitched to the back of his head, which is a really weird detail. But yeah, he's also a lot smaller than Mewtwo, which actually makes sense. So yeah, I'm glad that they did that. It made it accurate. Next up is the Shining Mew, which is a lot bigger than the normal Mew for some reason. But yeah, overall, this one actually looks weirder in my opinion because the eyes are just further apart for some reason. But yeah, overall, still a pretty nice plush and it's part of the Pokemon Center set. Next up is Regigigas. I wish this one was kind of bigger because Regigigas is supposed to be big like Dialga size. But yeah, overall, still a pretty nice plush even if it's not game accurate. It has some cracking on the back here as you can tell because it's made out of an iron-on material. But the tag's still in pretty good condition. This one's actually pretty old, from 2008. Next up is Floatzel. This guy's overall really big plush, and he's part of the Shiny Deluxe set, just like Torterra. So yeah, there isn't much to say about him, because there's not really many details that could get damaged on this plush, besides like the teeth. But yeah, so overall a pretty nice plush, and they did a good job embroidering the eyes and stuff on. Next up is Baneri. This one's made by Jax Specific, the same company that made that huge Dialga plush. And this one's actually pretty rare now because it seems to be the most accurate looking Baneri plush, so I guess a lot of people want it. The next plush is Licky Licky. Now this is an overall really unique plush from a really unique Pokemon. So yeah, it's overall a pretty funny looking Pokemon, and it's also made by Jax Specific, I'm pretty sure. Can't really tell because the tags won't focus on the camera, but yeah. There's some iron-on material here, which seems to be a bit uneven for some reason on both sides, but yeah, still overall a really nice plush. Next up is Infernape. So this one's overall pretty good. It still actually has a tag on it from Banpresto. I don't know the exact set made for this one, but yeah, overall it's a pretty high quality plush. It doesn't really fit the size of Infernape is supposed to be. And well, from the same set we have Empoleon. So this one doesn't have the hang tag, but it's from the same set as Infernape, and just like Infernape, it doesn't really fit the size, but it's still overall a pretty nice looking plush. Next up we have Deoxys. So yeah, this one's overall pretty good. It has some plastic eyes which could get damaged, and there's also some iron-on material here. But yeah, it also is pretty old Banpresto plush from like the year 2004, so yeah, it's pretty old compared to like most Banpresto plushes. This arm is still stitched on, but this one isn't, by the way, so yeah, this plush is a little damaged, I guess. And we also have this version of Deoxys made by Banpresto as well. This one was made a few years later, but I'm really like this one. I think I actually like it better than the normal Deoxys just for the design of it. Next up is Golett. I really wanted a Golurk plush a while ago, but they're kind of hard to find, especially compared to the Golett plush. I actually have two other plushes from this exact same set as well. And there's actually a lot of plushes from this set, and I only have three of them, but this set is like huge. It has hundreds of different Pokemon plushes basically because it covers the entirety of Pokemon Black and White, because Banpresto basically made a small keychain set for like every Pokemon. Because after Pokemon Black and White came out, I guess they wanted to make a huge plush set with basically every character in it. So yeah, that's what they did. And I only have three of the set, but I still want to get more in the future. Next up is the Applause Sparrow. This one could get damaged very easily over the years because it has this like shiny material on it that's very easily damageable. This one's also just really old because it was made by Applause. So yeah, this plush is very, very old, like from the late 1990s to the early 2000s. And well, I also have two Pokeballs that I have. I have a normal Pokeball and this type of Pokeball that I don't actually remember the name of. Next up we have Zamazenta. This one was actually one of the first Pokemon plushes I got, and it's very soft because, well, this is just a really nice material overall. It's overall just a really nice plush, and you can actually get these on eBay still for pretty cheap. And well, next up we have Zacian, which isn't as soft as Zamazenta, but it's still overall a pretty good plush. The sword is pretty weird though, because it only has a middle part and like the front part, but not the bottom part. And well, next up I have the shiny deluxe Chansey plush from the same set as Torterra and Floatzel that we saw earlier. So yeah, overall this plush is pretty good. It's very flat though. And well, next up to go with the Chansey, we have Blissey, which is from the exact same set and is from the exact same evolution. So yeah, I got this actually a while ago for actually a lot of money because this one's actually extremely rare. And well, it seems that both of these plushes are actually now pretty rare. The Chansey you can still get for like $50, but this one usually sells for like upwards of $100 usually. And next up we have Palkia. This one's overall pretty good, and there's actually a Palkia plush from the same set as Dialga, but I got a different one by Dan Presto. It also has this very beat up tag on it, which is also extremely rare to even find this plush with a tag on it in the first place. It has some pretty nice artwork on the tag, and I'm really glad that I got it because, well, it's just extremely rare now. Moving back to the EVs, we have Umbreon. This one's from the same set as the others, and it's overall just a really nice plush made by Tomy. I would definitely recommend getting this set if you can find it, because it's overall just a really good set. Now, the final Eevee plush I have is normal Eevee. This one's overall pretty good. It has this very soft coat on it, so yeah, it's overall just a really nice plush. And I would definitely recommend getting it, as it comes in the same set as the others. And a fun fact about all four of them, I actually got them all at Toys R Us. And well, just like Palkia, this plush also has amazing artwork on the tag. The artwork on this tag is overall just really good. I would definitely recommend just looking at these tags in general because, well, they just have really good artwork on them. And I'm really glad I got this plush just for that reason in general. This plush is also just really nice overall. It has some damage up there, though. Moving on to the next plush, we have Piplup. This is part of the Shiny Deluxe, and it's overall just a really nice Band Presto plush that I'm really glad that I got, because it's overall just a really nice plush, and it holds up pretty well over the years, because there's basically no details that could get damaged. And well, next up we have the three original starters, being Charmander, Squirtle, and Bulbasaur. And we also have Pikachu, which is my first ever plush of Pokemon. So yeah, this is my first ever Pokemon plush that I got. I got it a while ago for my birthday, like years ago, like years and years ago, from like 2016. So yeah, I'm really glad that I got this plush because it's overall a really nice Pikachu plush, and it's actually really rare now. It kind of started this whole Pokemon plush collection. But yeah, this is my entire Pokemon plush collection. Now we're going to move on to Angry Birds. First up, we have Red. This one, for some reason, has this like huge thing on the top of it that's used to hang up in stores. So yeah, it's overall pretty rare that actually still has that on there. Next up, we have Bomb. It used to actually have a working voice box, except it just kind of stopped working. Yeah, it doesn't even work anymore. But yeah, it actually sounded just really bad before, and it just doesn't work anymore. Next up, I have a Santa Chuck. This is the only Santa Angry Bird that I have, and it's overall just a really soft one. Most Angry Bird plushes made by Commonwealth are actually just really soft. And this one also came without a voice box in it, as I don't think the Christmas plushes ever came with voice boxes. Next up, we have How. He actually has an open beak version, because there is a closed beak version, but I like the open beak version more. It's also a rarer version. His voice box just also doesn't work like Bomb's. Next up is Bubbles, and he actually does have a working voice box. Next up is the Helmet Pig. This one's actually an 8-inch Helmet Pig instead of a 5-inch one like the rest of my Angry Bird plushes. Next up is the Cupid Pig. This one actually has a black tag on it, so yeah, it's overall a really nice plush, and I actually really like it as well. It's one of my only pig plushes I have. And we also have this Green Bird, once again an 8-inch version instead of a 5-inch version from Angry Birds Rio. And also my last plush in the collection, the Angry Birds pillow plush. It's not really a plush, it's a pillow, but I still count it as a plush. Because, well, it does have plush material inside of it, so it counts, guys, obviously. And now moving on to the final section of this huge plush collection, we just have some miscellaneous game plushes. Starting off, I have two Loot Llamas for some reason. I actually don't remember ever having a second one, so I don't know where he came from. We also have the Fortnite Durr Burger for some reason. Once again, I don't remember having this one. I just remembered having one llama. So honestly, I have no clue where he came from. And well, I also have the Slither.io plush for some reason. So if you guys remember the game Slither.io, I have a plush of it for some reason. Next up, I have two Enderman plushes from 2014 by Mojang. This one's actually in worse condition for some reason than the other one. I don't know if I just used this one more or something like that. I don't really remember. Next up, I have a pig from 2014 by Mojang. This one's actually still in pretty good condition, especially for being an old Minecraft plush. Next up, I have the Mushroom from 2015, actually. Pretty cool plush, in my opinion. It's basically the exact same design as the pig, except it has these instead, and it's also just a mushroom. Next up we have a cat. I don't know which year it's from because the tag's cut off for some reason. But it also has beans in it instead of just being all plush material like the other ones. Next up we have this sheep which looks like it died. Like I don't know what happened to the fur on this one. It's from 2014 though. And I also have a blue sheep which is a lot better condition. This is actually probably my newest Minecraft plush from 2017, which just shows you how much I collect these things. Next up we have a creeper. This one's from 2014 as well. You can't really tell because the tag's like dead, but yeah, still from 2014. It was also like not fuzzy at all. It's like completely all worn out. And well, the final plush in this whole collection, a giant creeper. So yeah, this is my entire plush collection. I obviously have a few plushes. I have no idea how many there are. I know there's a few hundred, or probably like upwards of 300. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, it took a while to make, so like and subscribe, please. And yeah, comment which of these hundreds of plushes is your favorite. And yeah, bye.